The next is ordinance number 2018-29, an ordinance of the town of Phillipsburg, County of Warren, State of New Jersey, establishing a range for the mayor and council salaries.
So moved.
Got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Discussion? Councilman Lutz?
Nothing.
Council Vice President?
Nothing.
Councilman Davis?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's unfortunate that we've come to this crossroads. I'm very pleased with the progress that we made on the other ordinances this evening, specifically what we've done with open space and with the Recreation Advisory Committee. However, it's disappointing that it's taken us so long to get to these good things that I think we all agree on. And part of that is because of the constant fighting and mudslinging that we've had between our council and our mayor. And though we've had good words about working together and creating a team that's going to move Phillipsburg forward, I feel that this ordinance is another shot across the bow to the mayor's office. While this doesn't actually affect the mayor's salary, the fact that we're creating the possibility that his salary could be reduced by 84% is nothing more than a loaded gun to his head, telling him to comply or be punished. I think that, especially with the election results that we saw yesterday, the electorate in general is rejecting the tribalism and brinksmanship we've seen and the angry rhetoric that has come out of divisive politics. If we sincerely want to work together, we can't try to force the mayor's office or council to bow down to each other. We have to have truly constructive dialogue about the things that we mutually hold dear and want to improve. And this continued escalation is only going to result in poor things for Phillipsburg. So I would encourage council to vote no to this measure and instead renew efforts to have constructive dialogue with the mayor's office, as opposed to loading up another shot to force him to comply with our desires. And that's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman McVeigh?
I do have a comment. Councilman Davis, well said on your part. And I do understand what you are saying, but this is a line item, mayor and council. Council also is budgeted, and it just it screams for accountability. I'm going to maybe get some crap for saying this, but I do more than the mayor. You do more than the mayor. And the 3 council people up there do more than the mayor. We get paid less than the minimum that it's even asked. So I have no problem making something, you know, whatever it says, 600, whatever it is. It's just, you know, it's there. And no one, everyone's saying we're going to lower salaries. No one's saying we're going to lower salaries. We're just putting a scale out there. And if it does send messages, it does send messages. It sends messages to me. Because if I'm not doing my job or we're not doing our job, maybe somebody comes to the podium and starts screaming, oh, maybe all of you just suck it up and make about $600 a year because you're not doing your job. And when that happens, and that council, if they vote no to that, they all cut their heads off because they'll never be elected again because they're going to turn around and say you're just in it for the money, you're not in it for the town or the quality of life we're trying to bring. As you properly said, what we're trying to work for. Yes, communication is key. No, we don't have it. No, we won't have it. I'm convinced of that. Council President, that's all I have.
Thank you. No clapping, please. I also would like to say, you know, Councilman Davis, that was actually, you know, a respectful argument. I do respectfully disagree, and I can tell you why. I've actually, after our discussion today, I had listed out the reasons that I support this ordinance, and I'm not proud to say some of the things that I'm about to say, nor am I going to be argumentative or yell or scream. But I do believe that any job, especially in public office, we're constantly under scrutiny, and we are constantly being asked to provide for the public. No, I don't like the fighting. No, I don't like the arguing. I don't like seeing my name in the newspaper. That's not true. I enjoy that. No, I'm teasing. But at some point in time, after we were elected, I thought that the mayor would have stopped and wanted to get along. And the emails that we sent to him in the very beginning were extremely polite, wanted to work together, contrary to popular opinion, because he did put out a Facebook post saying that when he congratulated us, the only person that was nice to him was Council Vice President DiGirolamo, which is not true, and I have a text message here on my phone that I would be happy to share it with anyone. Over the past year, if I had to evaluate the performance of our mayor, and I'm sure he could say some things about us, but I can tell you that this is him. We've received multiple threats or harassment via email. We've seen the ordering of staff not to discuss town business with elected officials on multiple occasions. He's threatened to have both myself and Councilman McVeigh arrested for going to the municipal building just to gather information required for a council meeting. Some of this stuff you may not know, like the attempt at rice noticing individuals, including public officials, in retaliation for council appropriately and properly rice noticing, quote unquote, his employees, and then subsequently threatening to lay off or terminate those individuals because of their perceived friendships with us. The constant orchestration of disruption at town council meetings, knowingly and purposely misleading the public and press via social media, instant messages, and phone calls in an effort to cause fear, paranoia, and or anger. Knowingly and purposely breaking the law by not carrying out his sworn duty to the people of this town by refusing to enforce legally passed ordinances and resolutions. The constant threats via Facebook, instant messenger, in person, or by postage mail to me, to residents in an attempt to retaliate against them for speaking out at council meetings. The constant encouragement of filing lawsuits against the town by friends and relatives that he's hired since he was elected. His personal attacks toward all council members via Facebook. And when I say all, I apologize, Councilman, I do not believe that you were attacked by the mayor. So when I say all four of us. Is attempting to cause disruption every chance he gets, and his employment of an obstructionist attitude because he doesn't get his way. The many broken promises or no-shows to the meetings with our residents. The fact that he promised a youth organization that he would make every effort to ensure their home field was ready for playing upon, and then setting up a date to have volunteers available, only to never show. And then when those members of that said club came here right here before council and asked for help, we unanimously agreed to volunteer and assist, but because of his disagreement for Matt Skirbo, because of his personal disagreements with Matt Skirbo, he had Chief Stetner call me and threaten all of us and the volunteers with being arrested. And when I asked why to Chief Stetner, I was told, I don't know, I have to look it up. And this comes from the mayor, who just most recently has championed, quote unquote, for the kids. His false reports to law enforcement and the DCA to have the council investigated under erroneous circumstances. He's also threatened to withhold and or cancel the New Jersey EIB loan due to my request of having an impact study performed. He wrote an entire op-ed to the Express Times full of lies and mistruths regarding the sewer situation because he was caught dumping 145,000 gallons of raw sewage into freshwater.
Just as a point of order, Council President,
Just
indicating that other elected officials are telling lies or mistruths generally.
I can prove it, Councilman.
I'm not saying that he can't. However, I'm just saying it's generally frowned upon to call people liars in debate.
I understand. I'm still going to call him a liar. Please. I do, again, respect it, but unfortunately, I've seen it one too many times. In the article, he claims that this was done, the 145,000 gallons that were spilled were done under council oversight. However, what the mayor failed to write was the truth. He hid it from council in 2017 and 2018. And furthermore, he pretended to be in charge and threatened to withhold sewer attorney bills because I had sought their guidance on an issue. And this was done to make me believe that he was in charge of the utility. His emails and the subject, on this subject, state the same. He circumvented established laws, makes claims of always being in charge, attempts to have council request permission for everything, and when we refuse, he once again lies on Facebook and pretends to be the victim. And most recently, and probably the most vilest of his actions towards one of our residents by engaging in what can only be construed as an alleged hate crime. No one, and I mean no one, should use the words that he's alleged to have used, especially our mayor. All this happened from January 1st, 2018 to this present time. If he were my employee, making $65,000 an hour, $65,000 a year, I would have fired him a long time ago, and he'd be lucky to make that $4,500. There is no loaded gun pointed towards his head. He is accountable for his own actions. He is a 60-year-old man. I am accountable for mine, and he is accountable for his. It's the reason we chose to lower our own salaries, our own minimum. Because if I don't deliver in the next year, I'm going to ask you all to lower my salary. And that's all I have. Now, please. With that being said, roll call.
Councilman Lutz?
Yes.
Councilman Davis?
No.
Council Vice President DeGrova?
Yes.
Councilman Medved?
Yes.
Council President Colbert?
Yes. Ordinance number 2018-29 successfully passes.